Hello, this is Kylie J.N.S. and happy Friday. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And so, to start the weekend, I just wanted to do some spiritual content and um, start a series on the chakras. Now, this is going to be like a little bit more advanced in the sense as where we're covering some of the minor chakras. Just wanted to check my sound. Sorry about that. But and so with that being said, you would have to have like a working knowledge of the chakra system itself, because we won't be covering the energy centers from the middle of the body, from the the typical seven major chakras that we all know. We're going to talk about the ones in the feet as well as the ones in the hands, the implications for the energy centers in the feet and whatnot, and some things to purify and detox the feet area as well. And so the feet have chakras that are generally considered minor, which I would say is a misconception or something that we shouldn't call it the minor chakras. Okay, so they often go neglected and ignored, and so I wanted to cover the minor chakras in the feet. I don't even like saying minor chakras in the feet, but the energy points in the feet. Okay, and so each toe, including the middle of the foot and the heel area, is governed by one of the major seven chakras that we are usually familiar with. Okay, and so you see the big toe. The big toe is governed and corresponds to the Manipura. Now, what is the Manipura? Remember that the Manipura, just want to get this, want to share this with you. I want to share it so you can at least see it for yourself. Here we go. Let's go here. So Manipura refers to your solar chakra, your solar plexus chakra, okay? And remember that is around the stomach area, the gut. And so that big toe that you see, that big toe corresponds to the Manipura. Big toe. And so what does the Manipura usually govern? That is your willpower, your strength, your confidence and self-esteem, and your personality, as well as your self-determination. And so this is an action oriented. So that's the big toe. The next toe that we have is the index. The index toe, we all know what index toe is. That corresponds with your anahata. That is the heart chakra. Okay, so let's go back here. Heart chakra corresponds with acceptance, love, and compassion and sincerity. Now, the next toe that we have, the middle toe, that's Vishuddhi. And that corresponds with your throat chakra. Now, remember, your throat chakra, that relates to your communication abilities, your expression, your creativity, your inspiration, and your ability, your heka. That's your voice. Okay. So now we have the fourth toe. That's your ajna. That's your eye chakra. And let's go back here. Your third eye chakra corresponds to your intuition, your lucidity, meditation, and trust. Now let's go back up here because now we have the baby toe. Baby toe, or little, or people call it little toe, is Swatisthana. Okay. Now let's go back here. That's your sacral chakra. Remember, that's the private areas around the private, and that refers to your sexuality, your pleasure, your sociability, and sensuality as well. So now let's look at the middle of the foot as well as the heel. I guess we'll start with the heel because that's pretty important. So the heel refers to your root chakra. That's the Muladhara down here. And that refers to your energy, your stability, your comfort and safety, the I am feeling. So that is your heel chakra, the root chakra of the heel. And then in the middle, you have the crown chakra, the middle of the foot right here. Now let's go down here. That's Sahasrara. And that's the crown chakra that refers to your knowledge, your consciousness, fulfillment, and spirituality. Now, uh, remember, the crown chakra refers to the top of your head as far as the major energy point, and as far as because I wanted to cover that, and then the root chakra, the Muladhara, that covers the base of the spine area. Okay, and so pretty much the seven chakras, they have the seven chakras that are in the center of their body that align with your the private area, the sacral, the root, the base of the spine, solar plexus, stomach, anahata, the heart, throat chakra, eye chakra, crown chakra. Those energy points, they have nerve endings that uh, channel down into the feet. These areas of the feet. Okay, and it allows you to discharge the excess energy that has been accumulated in the major chakra. In the major chakra energy points, you can discharge the energy from the feet, or you sometimes you can bring in the energy from the feet. Whether, like, a lot of people, they do the grounding meditation outside, walk outside, is like to balance your uh, electromagnetic field of the feet with the earth. So the earth radiates a frequency about 7.83 hertz. That's the Schumann resonance. It's been changing because the earth has been actually ascending quite considerably. So Schumann resonance, sometimes you can see a lot of activity. You could actually look this up, like you see a lot of activity in the electromagnetic field of the earth, the frequency. And so like, what some people do is they'll go outside, they'll take their shoes off, they'll sit, they'll walk on the grass, they'll walk where there's nature, or sometimes they go to the ocean or to a river and put their foot in the water, and that allows you to recalibrate the chakra, the chakra centers, and the obviously um, that earth energy will come through the feet and up through and purify and recalibrate the major chakras of the entire body. Or you can discharge energy from the body and discharge it from the feet. Okay, because the surplus energy is released and transmitted into the earth from the feet, facilitating grounding in our consciousness. And the reason why the chakras of the feet is important, because uh, like the feet, they ground you. But I don't like the word ground, but they what's they descend is not even a right word too, because I don't like the word grounding anymore, and I don't like because grounding kind of refers to some sort of imprisonment to me in my mind. So I don't like to use the word grounding, but analyze, I want to say, is something where it logistics, something with analyze your feet. Yeah, analyze, emphasize. Maybe emphasize is the better word, because it's a word between emphasize and analyze that I wish we can just create right now. Because when we think of like analytics and analytical, I'm referring to a space where you're less cosmic and galactic and more logic based, more mathematic, and what the spiritualists would call that grounded. But to me, again, a lot of the way the words that we use to describe some terms come off as social engineering, or like kind of like programming to me, and I don't like to be. One of my sisters, she made an excellent point of, when we talk about like this being grounded to the earth, do you necessarily want to be grounded in the 3D, 4D, 5D realm? Like, do you want to lose connection to the galactic elements of the cosmic elements of being? And so sometimes, like, we lose sight of that when we talk about like this grounding to the earth of 7.83 hertz. And sometimes you do need to be grounded, or I would say emphasized. Maybe sometimes maybe you do need to balance out your energy to be more analytical, to be more and pragmatic rather. But um, nonetheless, those chakras in the feet exist to recalibrate the energy using the electromagnetic field from the earth, or to discharge energy from the top of the head, from the energy that comes through the crown throughout to discharge it out of the feet. A lot of times just for that as well. And so the foot chakras also serve to channel energy from the earth star chakra, and it transmit it into the major chakras via the energy channels in the legs. We have energy channels in the legs as well. And so we are able to communicate with the earth, direct communication with the earth through the feet. You detox through the feet. A lot of times the conditions of the feet tell you a lot about the state of consciousness, or where the person is at. This is no judgment, but that's why a lot of people love to get pedicures. They love to do things with their feet, make sure the feet is, especially women, they love to make sure the feet is so, you know, their feet is taken care of. And I never understood that growing up. I always thought the idea of pedicures were nice, but it's like Black American women, it's like an obsession with the feet, with pedicure, the feet, making it, grooming of the feet is very important in Black American culture, believe it or not, with amongst the women. The men, some men do pedicure. Some men do. The men that are in the know, they will take care of their feet. They'll get a. Remember that pet egg that came out, and maybe this is an American thing, but I think it's subconscious. But um, there was this pet egg that you can order online back in the day. It's that I've seen on TV, the pet egg. Maybe I can Google, because I want to show you what I'm talking about, because I actually bought this. um, but it's like this pet egg thing that they used to really market online, and this was to scrub the feet, to have it baby soft and smooth, and to trap your shavings inside, so there's no mess to clean up, so you can discard of these foot ash or whatever. But a lot of people, like a lot of Black Americans, and we were buying these things. What is the pumice? There's another one here. They have this will remove the calluses, dead skin. This is something that is very important to a lot of women, and I think it's more spiritual than just like the actual. Well, for me, when I was buying these things, and I didn't know what I was doing with them. Like I actually made a mistake and cut my foot like really bad with this thing, scrubbing too hard, like really scrubbing my feet with this. And I'm one that don't like people to touch my feet. Well, actually I do, but like I wouldn't go and pay for someone else, especially like like they go to these in the hood, they go to these nails, the nail salons in the hood, Asian nail salon, whatever, and had just random people touching my feet and scrubbing my feet. That was never my thing. I personally don't believe in it. If I was going to do pedicure, it had to be somebody that I know. I'll give myself the pedicure. You could buy pedicure machines. They have this stuff you can buy your own little kit and do it yourself, or I would have a friend do it. I'll even pay a friend to do it, but I wouldn't just have random people that I go and pay to go get this kind of work done, because it's spiritual for me. And so I'm bringing this up so we've been proposed an idea that the way, this idea of the pedicure and the way we groom our feet, we do it in the way that aligns with the chakras in the foot, that aligns with, are we discharging energy? Are we transmitting energy in? That's the thing that we need to think about when when we prepare the water for the pedicure. Are we focused on transmitting energy in? So that means you may want to charge your water and charge the water that you put the foot in. What is the intention? You may want to add some like herbs, cinnamon, basil, certain things of that nature when you transmuting energy in through the feet. And obviously, even the way you groom the foot, each toe, like on the back of the with the back of the feet, a lot of times people take like these pumice stones and these pedicure kit. Let's Google pedicure kit. Let's see, pedicure foot spa. They have callus remover gel, all types of shit. Arnica. I have bought like some arnica and stuff for my feet and whatnot. But you want to add things to this water if you can. Like maybe they have like some simple one, but they even have some very sophisticated pedicure machines as well for the feet. And if you have callus remover, if you have calluses on the feet, corns on the feet, those could be energy blockages. You don't want to always, because sometimes it could be just the type of shoes that you're wearing, the work that you're doing, but that could be energy blockages. You look at the feet, and again, there's no judgment, but if you have, like, say, a callus in a big toe, something near the, remember we went over, let me share it again. We just went over the energy points. Maybe the heel, like my heel, used to have issues with my heel. Like, that's my root chakra. I've always had issues with the root chakra. I've always been aware of that. And so, right now I've been able to transmute, a lot of that energy, and people can even get rid of, you can a lot of people don't know this. I'll tell you this secret, but you can invent a chakra, believe it or not. You can invent, you can do a lot of pre-programming of the energy points of the body itself. You can invent a chakra. But these are the 7 major ones that were invented and given down through us, through the some of the interdimensional beings who taught us a lot of the esoteric knowledge that they weren't supposed to thousands of years ago. And but since this information is already out, I am telling the human race, yes, you can invent a chakra, or you can transmute a chakra to even a different element. But I won't get into the science of that in this video. But yeah, so the heel chakra, like, say you have like ashes, crusty ash on a foot, that may be an area, that may be something you want to pay attention to. Are you balancing in the root chakra? Do you feel, and that could just mean, like, do you feel stable? Do you feel do you have some issues with stability and foundation? Those are things to pay attention to. Maybe the crown chakra, you have some issues. Maybe you realize you have a ash, what is it, not ash, but how, like, the skin peeling on in the middle of the foot or something. That's the crown chakra. Could it be something going on there? Could it be? Do you need to transmit energy into the feet, or do you need to discharge energy out of the feet? And so those are things to think about when we're doing our pedicures, ladies, and even fellas. We're doing these pedicures, like, okay, do we want to, what kind of, what's going on with the status of the feet? Then you look at the heart chakra. I mean, let's look at the middle foot. Maybe you have something peeling, they have athlete's foot, or, you notice things. Back in the day, during the college, stay in a college dorm my freshman year, those floors would be so nasty. The showers, everybody using the same shower, right? And so I used to wear flip-flops. But sometimes them flip-flops didn't work. Sometimes you still got athlete's foot because of the germs of the bacterias in the dorm. You had to share. I remember my freshman year, we had to share them showers. It wasn't just your own shower, and you had to get a higher grade in order to get your own bathroom or share your bathroom with one other person. But in undergrad, you were sharing with, like, your freshman year, you're sharing the bath shower with, like, probably a good 30 women, probably even more. And so they don't clean them showers like that, and you get in there right after the next person comes, what the fuck they got on their foot. I used to get athlete's foot my freshman year, and I didn't know what was going on. I had an athlete's foot, and I had to, and I realized it was the dorm, so I started wearing flip-flops in the shower, wearing flip-flops everywhere I walk, because, I had, like these slippers, and I was like, maybe the bacteria is getting through the slippers. It just freaked me out. Like, it freaked me out. And I had to get tea tree oil and pay attention to the feet, get some tea tree oil, get oregano oil, things to help the feet, and it wasn't just me that was getting, like, freshman year, people's feet was breaking out with rashes, all types of shit, because the bathroom, that's what you expect when you're sharing them damn dorms like that. And this is so for the young people too. If you realize you get something like that, and you're just now coming into this knowledge, this will be excellent for you as well. Now, say you'll have something with the heart chakra. So say it's the middle, the index foot, the index toe, that's giving you some issues. Maybe you want to pay attention to your emotions and your connections, and how do you feel? How are you feeling right now? It's just something to think about. It's definitely something to think about. Okay. And so when we're doing these pedicures, and when we are taking care of the feet, it's energetic. It's spiritual. It's not just, okay, we want the feet to look good and dainty. Sure. Everybody wants what they call it, baby soft feet, You gotta have a baby soft lotion your feet. You don't want ashy feet. That's why in Black American culture, ashy feet will get your ass clown. Even there's a movie called The Baby Kids, and the girl's ribbon on her. She said, "Here goes some lotion for your ashy ankles." Everything was about the foot. Like you remember the Proud Family when the grandma would show them toes or show them dogs and them feet, and they were like, "Oh," and they would clown her because it's not groomed. And so it is a big thing in Black American culture. Actually, my first present from one of my friends was literally a self-made pedicure machine with the foot soak and um all types of, I didn't know what the hell this was, but this was her thing. And like she used to go and get pedicures every week. And when we were like real young, like we was like, I was like in grammar school, and she get my Christmas present was this big ass pedicure spa thing. I was like, okay, what do I do with this? Um and so it's pretty important. I wanted to look for some of them kits though. There's like a kit. I want to look. Let's see if they have. Yeah, like this type of thing. That she had got me. I know they don't sell that no more, but it was like one of them kits like this. One of them kits like that for. But it was for the feet though. It was everything was for feet. And so another thing I want to talk about is like they used to sell this thing for detox of the feet. They used to in Japan it was like, or not Japan, but in Asia it was really important. Let me see if I can Google it. Detox foot pads. The detox foot pads. This is an ancient practice. Now the way that they promoted this, obviously they want to monetize everything, but there's other ways to detox. You can make your own foot pads to detox. Once again, in Black American culture, we believe in putting onions on the bottom of the feet when you get sick. No lie. Um, you get socks. You get some tape. If you get sick, you cut up your onions with the membrane part. Like showing, and it does get smelly. It does get, obviously there's onions, and if you're sick, you tape the onions all on the bottom of the feet, and you put some socks on, and you turn the heat up a little bit and you sweat that shit out. And that onions from the bottom of the feet, it goes into the body. It detoxes the sickness out of the body, the virus out of the body. This is a belief. This is, you could call it, hoodoo culture, whatever you want to say. But this is something that I know works. I've done it. One time I got sick. My friend said, well, she's not my friend anymore, but she was an ex-friend. She's like, you got to put onions on your feet. You got to put onions on your feet. And I'm just looking like, what the hell? But I did it. I sure did. And it was smelly. I was like, okay. And you have to be careful because you don't want your bed to obviously get all like that. So if you have, one of them mattress pads, the plastic mattress pads, or if you don't have that, you could put a garbage bag, underneath, like put a garbage bag underneath the sheet before your bed, under your bed sheet. So while you're laying on top of it, so the smell don't get all in your bed, or your mattress, depending on how long you're sick and how long you need to put the onions on your feet. You can also do, as you can see, turmeric and ginger. That's going to detox the feet. That's the energy points of the feet. They got some with the activated charcoal. Look at this one, lavender and rose. I mean, it's all types. You can make your own as well if you don't want to pay, or if you want something that's more natural, or if you just want to do a project where you're putting so much intention into the way you prepare the grooming of your feet or the detoxing of your feet. If you want to make your own pad, like you want rose, and you want to sit and you want to use these essential oils to make your own pad. You could certainly do that, or you could just buy it. But I suggested it would be better to do it yourself. You got bamboo vinegar, wormwood. Wormwood is very good. Wormwood is for parasites and intestine, but it certainly detoxes the feet. And so that's one way to discharge energy out of the foot through the pads, the discharge and recalibrate the chakras. Again, for those that have knowledge of like what even the herbs do on a metaphysical level. And I have an herb book that I had published about a year ago with 178 herbs in its corresponding gender, planet, spiritual uses, and health uses. And so when you're detoxing the feet and grooming of the feet, you want to correspond the herb with the particular energy point that you want to work with, the chakra in the feet. If it's something that's more of cosmetic, they have calluses, corn, pay attention to the toe that the corn is on, and remember the corresponding chakra with the toe. If it's the root, a lot of people have crust on their back of their heel. A lot of people don't feel stable. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people, so a lot of humans are gonna have issues with the heel of their feet. So you want to pay attention to the heel of the feet, grooming of the heel of the feet. That's when you want to transmute energy in. So when you're doing like your pedicure, or you're doing like a bath, maybe you do want to put a herb that corresponds to the root chakra in your bath water or in your pedicure water. That could be, let's see, bay leaves. That could be anything. I mean, come on, there's thousands of tonka bean. Put some tonka bean in it, um, saffron, whatever. For those that's more advanced that knows some of the knowledge of the metaphysical purposes of the herbs, you correspond it with the energy point of the feet when you need to transmit energy in, or when you need to discharge energy out. Okay. And so that's a science that you can study. We could talk more about that. That's not what this video is about. But I just give you some gems, I'll give you some gems of the chakras of the feet. Okay. And feet is very important. To a lot of people, I had a kid in my family when he was young. He's much, much older now, but when he was a little baby, like I want to say like 1-2 years old, he had an obsession with feet. Like he knew that there was energy coming from the feet, the flow of communication. Like your feet communicate with the energy grids in the earth, and it was like, this obsession with the foot. This kid, it used to like put him in a whole trance. Like it used to kind of freak us out because like if we had our feet out, the kid would just come and sit under your feet. Like he would just come and sit and just or like take your foot and put it on his face. Like he would take people's feet, mainly women, only women, by the way. He would take women's foot, obviously only women in his family. He would take our feet and just put it on his face, stare at our feet, be looking at our feet. Like we were just looking like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? I ain't even gonna hold you. We thought it was so freaking weird. But that's because we were, I think I was like 19, 18 at the time. So we didn't know, I was just looking like, why is he so obsessed with our feet? Actually, we were younger than that because I was like 17, 18, and so, we really didn't understand it, and so we think about the foot chakra. You talk about the heel chakra related to the muladhara. That allows you to feel, connected to the earth every time you take a step. And also the chakras in the feet, they correspond to the feminine and masculine, Ida and Pingala nadis, those points. That is going to also channel up through your whole body. And so on some level, I think the kid, and men, the Ida and Pingala are energized by the testes. So a women is connected to the ovaries, the Ida and Pingala nadis. And so they run in their feet. And I suspect that the little kid, with him just being so obsessed with our feet, he could feel that energy. He could feel some type of energy coming from the foot. Like clearly, like because it wasn't even like we were getting. Well, his mom would get pedicures, but I was not getting any pedicures. Like I was not caring nothing about my feet, so I just didn't understand like why is this kid doing it. So I'm not gonna hold you. I did an experiment because I was like, well, we gotta break him out of this foot addiction. It was like a foot addiction, and he even remembers. Like I remember when he was older, he was like, yeah, I used to really really love feet. Like I used to like it used to like put him in like. His mind was gone. Like imagine somebody that just, that like to get high or something, and you see a person that's high and they be gone out of it. That's how it was with this little kid in feet, women's feet. And we didn't, we don't know how to handle anything like that. That's like, to us, we felt like, how like when people suck their thumbs, you have the kids that suck their thumbs and you put like tape on their on the thumb, or you put hot sauce on the thumb or peppers or something to get them to stop sucking their thumb or their finger. And so we were like, well, how do we break him out of this foot fetish? And at least like, like not be weird with it. Like, I mean, this kid, like we're watching a movie, everybody's sitting on the couch. This kid would get on the floor, take our feet and put it on his face and just be staring at, or like take the feet and put it like dead on the face and be staring at the foot, staring at the foot. And we were looking like, what the fuck are you doing? Or if the feet was just like just, you're sitting on the couch and your feet is just out, he would just lay up, just put his face real close to your foot and just be laying up under the foot or staring at the toes, playing with the toes and stuff. So I said, yo, we gotta break him out of this. So I ain't gonna hold you. I had made sure one day that my feet was it was like really, 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 really smelly. And I said, I remember I put my foot out and said, here you go. And he ran. I mean, he was out like a little kid ran up and he couldn't. And I put it right there in his face. And he took he's like, this smells. And he never, ever, 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 ever had that foot fetish again. And sometimes I'm like, was I wrong for that? Like, did I? Because I remember consciously like calculating, like, how do I get him to stop being so obsessed with feet? And me not knowing any better, I think I was like 19 at the time. I'm like, well, I guess. I mean, would he like I don't think he'd like a smelly foot. So I had these flats on, and I just left them on these flats. If you put water in your flats, and then you put your feet in the water in the flats, it's gonna smell. Everybody knows that. And so I put my foot in the water in the flats, and put my feet in the flats, let them get smelly, and then said, "Here you go." I was like, "Here you go." And he said, "Oh no!" And he never. I mean, he still would like feet, but he wasn't afraid of feet. Like like he would give a foot massage or something like that. But he was never the same like that. Not like high, like getting in a trance and putting your foot on the face. Like he stopped doing that. And so I was like, well, at least we did, because it was getting a little uncomfortable for a little kid to be doing that. And but I think that it was because of the energy of the feet, and maybe that made him feel grounded. There was also a practice where and that's how I know you can transmit energy out of the body through the feet. There's this practice where they would when white people would get sick, they would have black kids lay down on the ground and they would put their feet on the black kid's stomach so that the sickness can go out of the white people's feet into the black person's stomach, and they would transmit the energy because the black kids couldn't get sick. Black kids during this day in the South, they had really, really, really powerful immune systems, very, very strong immune systems. They rarely got sick. And so they were looked at as like lucky charms. Like, okay, you're a lucky charm and you don't get sick, and you have melanin, and so you can transmit the energy out of my feet, the sickness out of my body through my feet into your solar plexus, and nothing's going to happen to you. You'll transmit it out your body. That was a sick belief like that, and this is real. Like they showed this in movies too. I want to say it was Queens. The movie Queen that Alex Haley had did. I want to don't quote me on that, but I know for a fact I even seen this practice in movies, but I had read about it. But they had actually had this. They were showing this in movies, like of white people putting their bare ass feet on black people's stomach, or the black kid's stomach, or their back. Sometimes, usually it was the stomach, but sometimes it will be the back as well, because that's how you transmit energy out of the feet. And so that's what I wanted to cover today. Remember, we talked about the pedicure. You can do your own pedicure. You can get your own foot pads. When you're charging your water, you can put your own intention into the water. You can even put maybe some water friendly crystals in the water for your feet, just to balance and recalibrate your chakras. You can use some tools. What is it? Pumice stones pumice stone for the feet. They got all types of stuff that you can use. pedicure, foot spa. Don't let a lot of people touch your feet that you don't know. Make sure you trust the person that's touching your feet, because they can put energy from their hands. That's another thing we're gonna do another video about chakras in the hands. The same this way you got chakras in the feet, you got chakras in the hands. You have people touching on your feet. You got to make sure they in the right state of mind. If they doing it just for for money or whatever, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But more importantly, there's a spiritual component to the grooming of the feet that extends beyond the cosmetic aspects of just the pedicure, making sure the feet's not ashy and crusty and whatnot. And so I'll be back to do the video on the chakras of the hands, and so we'll cover that in just a bit. So I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, actually, I'm going to share my links if you guys want a spiritual reading. It's hard for me to sell stuff because I'm just a natural teacher. I'm not a salesperson. And so I'll give you my links if you guys want a spiritual reading, and also the links to my books, the links to Nakhti University. If you guys want to check out more information, that would be great. I love giving spiritual readings. You can ask me anything. I had a beautiful client yesterday who was really wanting to get so deep into like inner work and whatnot. And so that was cool. And yeah, so that is information on that. Let me make sure I put it in there. And I'll be back with a video on chakras on the hands. You can book a reading at my website, and you can check out my books. I have 18 books, spiritual books. I do cover chakras in my Tantra book. The book about Tantra covers of chakras. So that would be cool if you guys are wanting to know about like love making with your spouse and in a transcendental sense. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys later. I'll be back.